Yeah. Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
All right, Vlad. I mean, we good? We good
Yeah,
to go?
yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
All right, awesome.
Yo, what to do, everybody? It's your boy, John Altidor, Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go back at you with another one. My boys, Vlad and Barry, and a special guest, former retired Canadian football wide receiver, formerly of the New York Giants as well, and he played at Massachusetts, Brandon London. How you doing, man?
Hey man, thanks for having me on, man. Thanks for and I got to throw the Dolphins in there too, man.
The Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Wow, played for the Dolphins. Nice.
Yeah, Dolphins. I was actually like on the roster with them, and then like a crazy ex-girlfriend, they broke my heart, and cut me, But it's still good to just that journey, and I can't wait to talk to you all about it.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for being on the show once again, man. And if you're watching right now, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. I noticed we got a few more subscribers last week, and we appreciate that. So it helped us out a lot at Pro Fan Sports. So let's get into Brandon London. What's your background, man? So you came out of Massachusetts. That's what I read. So you played football at UMass?
Yeah, man. I played there when Mark Whipple was there. Back in 2003 was my first year there. I came out of Fork Union Military Academy. That's where they came and grabbed me at. But before that, my father, Mike London, is a head football. He's been a football coach my entire life. And right now he's at William & Mary, but he's coached at Howard. He was a head guy at UVA, coached at Boston College. So that's where I kind of got that Massachusetts roots, because I went to Framingham High School for a little bit. So when we went back down, he got the Virginia job. When we went back down to Virginia, he told me, he was like, look, you bounced her, I took you out of high school, late junior year. You never really got a chance to get recruited. I sent you to Fork Union for a year and then, get you an extra year. So when Massachusetts came calling, I was like, it's a perfect fit. I already had, friends up there. They play formerly the Atlantic 10. We play down in Virginia a couple times a year. My family, grandparents and all got to see that. So, I left Massachusetts like top 3 or 4 in all receiving statistical categories. Had a great time there. Coach Don Brown, who's now the defensive coordinator for Arizona, he kind of set me on that straight path, because I was a knucklehead when I got up there, man. I was getting into some trouble and stuff like that. But he's the one who challenged me, and he was like, if you got the tools, you're catching the ball, and if you really want to get to the NFL, I need you to lock in these next 2 years. I need you to smarten up, wisen up, and just start making grown man decisions. So he challenged me. That's when I started running track, high jump. I got second in the Atlantic 10 for the high jump and all. And then, UMass came up to my pro day. And it was snowing in Amherst that day. I ran a 40 in the snow. If anyone knows Western Massachusetts in March, it's March, January, December. It's all the same.
It don't matter, man.
So it don't matter. So
Right.
Mike, former New York Giants receiver coach Mike Sullivan, drove all the way up from Jersey, came up, watched me, worked me out. I had a great workout, and then the next week I went to Boston College pro day, shut it down. Was absolutely just shut it down. And the Giants were there as well to see Zach Diassi, because he was at Brown and he was working out so I got all those eyes and ears on me from there. And I didn't get drafted, but the Giants called me in the 7th round and was like, look, Coach Sullivan was like, look, I want to take you but we want a running back. So they ended up taking Ahmad Bradshaw out of Marshall, and you see the career he had.
Ahmad wasn't bad, man.
Great
Ahmad
pick.
Bradshaw,
Ahmad was
yeah.
nice, man.
Yeah, dude, that dude was a little.
He was
Yeah,
legit.
man.
Problem.
Yeah, man. Somebody kept their
yeah.
job with that pick, you know. So
Facts, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That was a
So
solid pick.
it was down to them and the Atlanta Falcons. And, you know, I had worked out with the Giants, you know, and it just felt like a fit and a great fit. And I grew up watching Plaxico Burress because, you know, Plaxico went to a Green Run. And, you know, he's from Norfolk. He's from 757. He's from the crib. So, and he went to Fork Union. So I'm like, I've always emulated my style off that guy. So came in, was raw, was green, you know, did well. They put me on the practice squad and I developed. You know, I developed. So that next year, won the Super Bowl, which was crazy. And then living in New York, playing for the Giants, you get all types of opportunities. So I started modeling as well, started going on commercial auditions, started doing all types of stuff in the city, man, because I even had an internship with Columbia Records, you know, and I was going into the city for that. And that's when that entertainment bug kind of hit me.
Mm-hmm.
Strahan would always be like, take care of your football, take care of your football. Like you won't even have to audition if you take care of the football part of it.
Right.
You know, so the next year I balled out during the preseason and the Miami Dolphins came and grabbed me and I actually played, you know, with the Dolphins, played 16 games down there, had 7 catches on the season, had a catch on Darrell Revis. I've been to Revis Island.
Revis Island.
I went to Revis Island and bought real estate. You know, it was only an 11-yard catch, but it was a small little house. You know what I'm saying? Little one family.
At least you got one on him. At least you can say you got one on him. Right.
I mean, if you look at some of his numbers against Ocho Cinco and T.O., you know, he
was shutting them down, man.
So,
lockdown, yes, sir.
Shout out to him, man. Like, all jokes aside, that's one of those dudes where you're training in the off season. You got Revis on your brain, you know. So I thank him for, you know, you giving me something to work for, you know, work towards. So the thing with the Dolphins, though, I was working out down there during the off season. I'd come up, do some modeling stuff. I was on BET, Rip the Runway, and we shot the episode in January, and it didn't air till March. So it aired in March during like OTAs, and Bill Parcells and them called me up to the office and was like, "This is what like, dude, we got OTAs. You flying up to go model?" And I kid you not, he goes, "Who you trying to be, T.O.?"
Shoot!
Yeah.
Damn.
Remember, T.O. had did that fashion show where he had that like wig on and stuff. The year when he came, when Bill came from the Cowboys to the Dolphins, and you know, it was just it was a different world down there in terms of organization and, you know, going from the Giants to that organization, you know. So it didn't work out down there. You know, I tried to make the team with the Steelers one year, got to the last cut, got cut, went up to Canada. Won a Grey Cup up there in 2010, and then I ended up playing there. 2015 season, well, before that, 2012 season, I'm balling out of control up there. I averaged like 19.6 yards per catch. I'm all over TSN, which is their ESPN, and I was calling myself Wavy because of Max B. Like, I'm a huge Max B fan, you know, like shout out to Max Bigabella.
Free to wave.
Coming home next year.
Free to wave.
Yes,
sir.
So you know, and I was balling, and Mark Trestman was my coach, and he was we knew he was going to the NFL. I didn't know he was going to the Bears, team, but I knew, and I was a Trestman guy. 4 games left. I got 140 yards to get to my first 1,000-yard season. Bucket tear my meniscus, done for the season. So I'm laying there. I'm in Toronto. I'm laying on the ground, and I'm like, that's when it hits you. I mean, every athlete is different. It hits you where it's like, I got to start thinking about life after football, man. Like, game, chill up me, you know. So I went back up. So I started going out to LA in my off seasons, and I would come back out to New Jersey, modeling, hustling, you know, trying to see what that entertainment life is like. So in 2015, I went up to, I had an opportunity where I got flown out to LA to test for the network for a show called Hollywood Today Live. And they had found my reel on YouTube. And this was, my reel was just, I was doing like trying to do like vlogs and stuff.
Yeah.
Interviewing my teammates in the locker room, taking them to fashion shows that I was walking in and all that. you know, because I got that from Wiz Khalifa, because he used to do that day to day. And I was like, man, I got to do a vlog. I got to do something to show the cultured athlete brand. So I flew out there. I tested. They thought I was green. They flew me up to Montreal for camp. And just a week into camp, I'm like, I can't get going. I can't. That bug had been planted. And I got a chance to be on a professional Hollywood production. Yeah. And it changed. And so after a tour-a-day, I don't know why I waited till after a tour-a-day, but I just started bursting out crying when we were stretching down. Everybody like, Wavy, what's up with you? You good? Like, you know, it was. I went to my coach, told him, man, I'm retiring. I'm going to Hollywood, man. And they were like, hey, what?
Oh, dang.
So they gave me the night off, and Jim Pop, who was the GM for the Alouettes at that time, Montreal Alouettes, he's the one who brought me up there. We sat, we talked for an hour. He's like, look, I'm going to give you the night off. I never seen you like this before. He was like, so come to me in the morning, tell me what you feel, and then we'll go from there. Went to him that morning. Next morning, I'm going out to Hollywood, man. So I went out to Hollywood, went out there, fell on my face, and then just started hustling and all, you know, doing workout gigs and stuff. And this is how you know when you're on that right path. Because after a year and a half of being out there, I was at doing this workout gig, and this lady comes up to me after, you know, I had all this energy during my class, and she goes, I heard you used to play football and you're a TV host. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, I'm kind of green, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, my best friend is Babette Perry. She's head of Innovative Artists Broadcasting. I'll send me your reel. I can't guarantee you anything. I'll send it over. Sent it to her, didn't hear anything back. You know, you hear stuff like that all the time. Next thing you know, I get an email. She's like, Babette would like to take a meeting with you. So I was up in there. When I got that meeting, I was like Kanye jumping on table. Like, I'm going to get this deal. I'm going to get this.
Doing the Bobby Schmurder.
A month later, she called me and was like, hey. A month later, she called me and was like, hey, Don Sperling of Giants TV remembers you from your year, and they want you to come in and audition. I went, killed the audition. I ain't looked back since.
That's awesome, man. I mean,
that's dope,
I'm
man.
sure a lot of guys
really great story.
You know, that story, you know, where, you know, they're like a supreme athlete throughout, you know, their whole grade school, high school career. And then, you know, you just get to the highest level, and, you know, maybe it doesn't work out, but you still got to figure some things out for yourself. And it seems like you did that. But you said, well, you went to UMass and obviously went to the Giants, and, you know, one undrafted person from UMass that, you know, made some big waves is Victor Cruz.
Absolutely.
You know, did you have a connection with Victor Cruz, or did your time overlap at all?
Yeah, I got 2 years with Vic. And his first year, for one semester, he had to go to, I think, like Keene or one of the like a JUCO to get his grades back up before he came back. But when Vic got there, I was already in that lock-in mentality where I wasn't really going out, and I didn't have that much time. Vic hung out with my older brother more than we hung out. Like, my older brother came to live with me when I was in college and stuff. And we called him Ballhead. So even now, when I see Vic around the studio or out at like a show or an event, he'd be like, yo, how's Ballhead? Tell him I said what's up and all. So, yeah, I got a chance to see that kid, man, and like to see his growth, and like just to see, like, even back in at UMass, there's a spot called the Monkey Bar. Vic used to like kind of like not so much promote, but he would get money for like selling champagne bottles. Like if people would buy a champagne bottle, Vic would get a kickback off of that. You know, when you get him on, he'll tell you the story and all that. So he always had something about him, and he was a hooper too. The dude can hoop, like, because I would watch them play intramurals, and he was, I mean, kid, you can tell when someone can shake like that, you know, off the crossover, you can see it translated to the field. So I'm more than proud of that guy. And every time we bump into each other, man, it's love. And anytime I'm like, yo, if I was to, like, I don't want to hit him up for just anything, but I just know, like, if I needed like interview for Giants TV, or I needed for something else, he'd be, what's up? I got you. So what you need. So I always thank him for, you know, never going Hollywood or anything on me, and always, you know, looking out for me and my career, you know, with him being where he's at right now.
Yeah, it's a fact, man.
That's awesome. Shout out Victor Cruz.
Facts. you know, sometimes as like fans, you know, you're sitting there, you're watching the game, and you know, the quarterback throws a pass, the guy doesn't catch it, and you're like, yo, this dude can't catch shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could do better than that. You know what I mean? You know, I think about Cam Newton. Everybody could throw better than Cam Newton as of last year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even us. You know what I mean? But what does it like really take to make it into the game? Like, what does your lifestyle have to be like? What does your mindset have to be like to make it and be successful in an industry like that?
I like the phrase "humble with a hint of Kanye," you know, because when you're one of these, you're an athlete or you're an entertainer, you're gonna hear so many no's. You know, like, you know, Trevor Lawrence he's a different story. He's won like every game that he's played in and stuff, but he had to work for his starting job. And people don't understand when to whom much is given, much is required. When you're on top like that, you got to be at an elite level at all times. You got people looking at you at all times. You got people waiting by their keyboard for you to drop that pass or to throw that interception. So it's another level of pressure for different levels of athletes. For me, I was never like the star like that, you know, like even at UMass, I was good. I was one of the best players on the team, but Steve Baylark, our running back, ran for like 2,000 yards, you know, so he was getting most of the pub and, you know, the publicity in that sense. I've always been a hard worker. I've always been one of those guys, like, I don't care how many stars you got, who you are, even now, what network you're on, let's line up, let's toe the line, and let's compete. I've always been like that. So when people are like jumping on Cam and people are jumping on the athletes and the Olympic athletes, I say they should always have one regular person in the Olympics just so everyone can have a reference point of what we're dealing with. This is what a regular person looks like, and this is what a world-class athlete going up against other world-class athletes look like. So when it comes to answer your question, what do you have to make it? It's a grit within yourself. I'm willing to take the long road, do things right, wake up, take care of my body, work out, work on my mental health, work on my craft, put my 10,000 hours in, wake up and do it all over again. Yeah. It's a nuttiness you have to have in your head, and you just got to be able to believe in yourself.
That's a fact, man. And you know, I think that mentality part you just mentioned is like a big thing right now, obviously in the sports world, right? You got NBA athletes coming up and talking about their mental health. You know, you got somebody like Brandon Marshall that you know, pretty much was out there really talking about it all the time. Yeah. And we saw what happened with Sha'Carri Richardson. I mean, that's it, right? Richardson, right? Yep. I always mix it up with Robinson. But, you know, and now we have Simone Biles, right? Like, what is your opinion on the people that talk about how, you know, if you're not hurt, you should be doing this or that? Like, you know, the people that really don't take it that seriously as a pro athlete.
I look at it for Simone to not go out there, for her to shut it down like that, with all the rings and medals, everything she's accomplished, with her being the Jordan of her sport. If she, as one of her teammates, if she came to me and said, "Belun, I can't go," I'm going to listen to her. I am not. Remember, Tom Brady played all last year on a sprained MCL. You got guys get concussions, still try and go out and play. We're going to give it. If we can go, we are going to go, because we're at an elite level. Yeah. So for her to say, "I'm shutting it down," I need to shut it down. Not I quit. I'm leaving the Olympics. I just need to Naomi Osaka. I need to shut it down for a little bit to get right. Because if she doesn't win, people are gonna, look at blah blah. What's wrong with her? She lost a step. She this. So to play on a high level, if you can go at 70%, then they're gonna go. If they can go at 50%, T.O. played the Super Bowl on a broken leg. If they can go, they're gonna try and find a way to go. So if T.O. was to say, "Bro, my leg is too, I can't play in that Super Bowl," I am not gonna sit here and say T.O. quit on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people need to look at it like that, because there are people who protect athletes from themselves. They make us sit it down. We fight with our trainers. We fight with the team doctors. Like, nah, I'm going. Nah, I'm going. No. You're not going. You know what I'm saying? They make us, you know, it's so if she can't go, then people have to understand she could not go. And watch what she does tomorrow. Watch what she does tomorrow now that she's back. Watch.
Right. She is back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
And like I said, people think, oh, you quitting on your team. Now, it's what I'm noticing now that, you know, social media gives a lot of voices and a lot of opinions and stuff like that. It's the loudest in the room. It's the loudest tweet is the one that gets the most retweets and stuff like that.
The most outrageous one.
Yeah, and these takes, and you got people like who would it was somebody on Fox News or something like that talking like, oh, she quitting on her, like who Megan Kelly and all
exactly.
them, like who the are you, yo, like
exactly,
who are you?
right.
That's why it's just one of those things, man. You block it out, and what that does though is now that's creating a wall between now the real fans and the athletes. Because now the athletes are lumping everybody together now, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's unfortunate, man. I hope we nip that in the bud as fast as possible. But at the end of the day, I don't think so. It's America. Everybody want their 2 cents out there now.
Well, I think that you said it well. I mean, at least we'll definitely get over physical pain, but mental pain sometimes it's just harder than that, and you just can't really get over it. Did you personally deal with that at all when you were playing? I mean, you talk about how hard it was for you to let your coach know that you were retiring. Did you deal with that at all?
Yeah, man. My rookie year, I had a case of the drops. Like I was dropping Tom Coughlin. I dropped a touchdown in the end zone. This is when training camp was in Albany, so y'all know that tells you how old I am. But Tom Coughlin I dropped it, and like the ball boy was gonna go get it, and they were just so tired of me dropping the ball. He was like, "Go pick up the ball," and I went and had to get it, and everybody's watching. So the Giants, that was like the first year they had like a team, like mental doctor, like a team psychiatrist come in, and I'm sitting there talking to her like every day, sitting there eating lunch with her, like trying to how do I get out of my head? Like how do I get out? I know I can catch the ball. I've been on the jugs. My dad didn't have me on the jugs machine since I was 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? And she's telling me all these exercises and breathing. I'm like, just tell me how to catch the ball. Like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that was when I was first introduced to it, to where the mental side of it, like you can when you're an elite athlete. We train so much, everything is routine by the time we hit the game. But when you're in a situation, take Giannis and take Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was in his head so much, he was giving the ball up so he didn't shoot free throws. Giannis had people counting down how long he took, and he went 17 for 19 to close it out and become
unbelievable.
That was crazy.
Right there.
Yes, sir. Mental toughness.
Right there.
Absolutely.
Right there. And I'm not calling
definitely
Ben
mental
Simmons,
toughness.
I'm not calling him like he's not mentally tough.
Right.
He just hasn't had he hasn't had to work on that yet. Now it's something that not only we got to train our bodies, we got to be conscious enough to train our minds as well. Otherwise, they're gonna run you out of Philly, you know.
I think they already have, honestly.
They might have.
Oh my God!
I think they already did that. I don't see how they can bring him back next year.
They offer them on every trade, man. It's crazy.
And
he's been turned down.
And that's gonna be
exactly right.
I'm glad Brandon Marshall. You know, he didn't get enough credit for what he did when he came out.
I was paying attention to that.
No one gave him any credit. What did they do? They labeled, oh, he's crazy. Oh,
yeah, he's crazy.
This. And, he had gotten into some trouble and stuff down or whatever. But the brother was crying out for help.
Yeah.
The brother was sitting here telling us, like, yo, like, I'm off. Something ain't right. Like, I have something going on. Everybody wanted to make jokes. Everybody wanted to crack a joke about him and all. But now it's like, now that it's at the forefront and we're at this point in life where it's like, hey, this is what I'm going through. It's not to tell you I'm weak or anything. It's this vulnerability is to let you know I just need to get right, you know. So shout out to Brandon Marshall for being one of the first ones to come out and really put himself out there.
I don't think they give him the roses too much, man, you know. I mean, he deserves it for real.
Well, earlier you shared a little bit about, you going through your NFL career and moving on to Canada, and then now you're in the entertainment business. As a ex-athlete, how did you make sure that your economics were in line, your budgets were in line, just so that you could have a future once you retired?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I went broke. Like I didn't do what I was supposed to do with my money. Like when I was with the Dolphins, since I was undrafted, I played 200 plays on offense, 200 plays on special teams. My player performance was $100,000 after taxes, and my accountant at the time, he had to hunt me down for that check because I was on live on Sundays. I was down there renting Porsches. Like I was down in South Beach. Like what? What? Like Miami Vice down there. By the time he came, he came down there and came to my house, give me the check. I gave him $55,000. I blew $45,000 in like 3 months. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, dang, that's crazy.
At that time, it's 2009. He tried to get me to buy an apartment down in Brickell. They were trying to give those apartments away. Now, if I would have held on to that, flipped that, oh my gosh, I knew nothing. I wasn't taught that. You know what I'm saying? And there's no knock on my father, no knock on anything else.
But
I'm a football family. You know what I'm saying?
How about a knock on the NFL though? For not teaching a young 19, 18, 20, 21-year-old how to handle so much money.
But I can't because they offered the classes. I didn't want to take it. I wanted to go play Madden. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to go be cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm an accountability guy. I ain't gonna point. I'm not gonna point fingers and all because I had enough. I've had the support system. Yeah. I was raised by Black excellence. A father that do right and all that. Any trouble and stuff that I got into, that's me being a dummy or whatever. So me not. I got 401ks like through Canada and through the NFL. They kind of just pulled that from your check. But if they didn't do that, I wouldn't have donated to it. So now that I'm back, I've been back on for about 4 or 5 years. Now I've just 4 or 5 years. Now I got stuff put away. Now I got money put away. And the Earn Your Leisure podcast, I've been watching that like crazy through the assets over liabilities. And I met the brother Rashad in Pergola the other night too. And I thanked him because a week ago, I just bought my first box truck, and I'm trying to flip that to get a 18-wheeler because I watched that episode. Nice. Buddy was talking about it. My uncle used to be a truck driver, so my cousin, he knows all about the business. I joined with him and his boy, and now I'm in the trucking business now, officially in the trucking business. So
what's your advice for these young athletes coming on that when you're not really part of the team, you're like fighting to get onto the team and you're not making that much money, but everybody else on the team is flashing their money around. Like, what's your advice for those guys?
Man, you go broke trying to act rich. That's the advice right there, man. And it's different playing in a New York than playing in a Green Bay. You go to a club in Green Bay, a bottle like $100. You go to New York, the bottle's about 600, 500, 600. And it's like, people are I remember like straight handing those guys like, what are you doing trying to buy bottles? You in a practice squad, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So don't go broke trying to impress people. They don't care about you like that and all, So put away at least 30-40% of your check. You eat at the facility anyway, like you get everything you need in the facility. So, you cut corners, use your perks, find ways to do it. And then when you get on, then keep investing and all that. But I think a lot of guys now, like you see, like all these athletes, Marshawn and them saying, we're not even spending our NFL money. We're living off our endorsement money.
That's the message.
Man. Right. That's Gronk does that too.
Like Jason Tatum.
Exactly, him too. Right. No, those are definitely good examples of guys who live that way and that are living smart. And I think they have the right people in their corner and their, and that are advising them to do the right things. Wanted to ask you a couple quick, questions, Brandon. First one was, what's your favorite memory playing in the NFL? And then the second one was, I believe you were on that championship, team in 2007 with like Michael Strahan and Plexico Burress.
We don't
and all
want to
those
hear
guys.
about that. We're in Boston, man.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta ask. Anyways, man, I know a Boston Patriots, guy, diehard, passionate fan, but I just have to ask the question: what was it like being on that team? That ended up, accomplishing and winning the Super Bowl championship that year.
So for the first part, I think my favorite moment in the NFL would be Michael Strahan had a birthday party one time, and that's when he used to date Nicole Murphy. And
I remember that. Yeah.
That night, man, just to watch him, you know what I'm saying? Just I'm just a young cat. I'm in the club with I'm off to the side. I just watched the way that brother operated, man. Like the love that he got and how he treated people and how people like lit up when they saw him. And he in the locker room, he always called me Will Smith, and all. And he always gave me, even to this day, he still gives me advice. He'll text me when he sees me post something on social media and all. And just to be able to see that, because I'm all about people, the kids got to be able to see what they want to be. And at that moment right there, I said, that's the blueprint. I'm gonna put my own, remix to it, but that's the blueprint right there. And for the second part, being on that team, being on that practice squad, man, was a blessing, because I just remember the week before the game, the NFC Championship, we played the Green Bay Packers. I had to be Donald Driver that week during practice on the scout team, and we were running this post corner. This post corner I ran. And I caught it on what's Webby or Webster? What's Webby's first name? Oh man, Corey Webster. And Corey Webster.
I remember him. Yeah.
He goes, dang, I gotta have it. Ran it again on Friday. He was on me, but I still caught it on the sideline. He jumped. They ran it first quarter. I think Favre got sacked. They tried to run it again. He picked it. So when they came back, the DBs, they all showed me love. They would always show me love. B. London. He came up to me and say, B. London, that was you. You got me ready. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And that,
What's up?
bro, that hit me hard, bro. That hit me hard, man. Like them dudes, and to this day, they still look out. So it's like them dudes are family, man, for sure.
And how was it?
That's awesome.
How was it getting ready for the Super Bowl, though? Like, who did you play to get ready for the Super Bowl?
Oh, man, I'm Randy Moss out there, man. I'm going to be West But because the New York Post front page of the sports page, you could go Google this and see it. They said he's Mini Moss. And I had the 81 jersey on and all, and I had to be Randy Moss because week 17 and for the Super Bowl. And that was the best. Those are my best weeks when I got to be Randy, T.O., Joey Galloway, because we were just throwing the ball downfield. Like Jared Lorenzen.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, Hefty Lefty. He was a scout team quarterback, and you'd see they put the card up, and they'd have that route highlighted, throw it. And I'm coming down with it in practices and stuff, and it was, man, that was a blast, man. It was a blast.
Did you think you were gonna win that game though?
Yeah, man. Like, hello, you played to win the game.
You lost week 17. Week 17, you lose, and you're gonna play the undefeated team. Like,
it's hard to beat a team twice.
But here's the thing: we walking in after the game, and on everything they told the story. Brandon Jacobs goes, "We gonna see them again. We gonna beat them boys." On everything I love, Brandon Jacobs said that, and everybody was like, "Yup." And you the whole 4 weeks to playoffs, well, 5 if you count that bye. Practices were so intense. They were professional. But everybody was on their A game, from the training staff to the water boys. Yeah. Everybody was locked. I've never been around such a professional environment like that, locked in like that. And you just knew it. It's a feeling. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I mean, if it wasn't for
crazy.
Cash, though, we would have been having a different conversation right now, though.
If it's for gifts, then every day would be Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
I like that one. That's
You
a
one
good
of
like
those
that
like, man, my shoe on. How you do this?
I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna use that.
Oh man.
Or
Oh man. That's a good
so
line. I'll give you that. That's what's up. That's facts.
that's a fact, man. To everybody that's watching, we're here with Brandon London, former Super Bowl and Grey Cup champ. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Now
right.
is TV host for the Daily Blast and at the Giants agency. So, man, you've been real cool to have on the show. You're a real humble dude, man. Thank you for the stories. We appreciate you coming on the Pro Fan Sports Podcast, man. If you want to follow him, it's at Brandon TV. Follow him now.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Sorry, I got to run out and catch this flight. And sometime during the season, I'll come back on when
Please,
it really
let's
like
discuss
sit down.
some.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Did you say something about next time we have Victor Cruz on? or
Yo, I
something?
heard that. I heard that.
I mean, I'll plug them. I'll try and plug you. I'll try and plug you guys for sure.
Yes.
Vic's humble too, man. Vic's humble too. And
Yeah.
thank you guys for having me on. And Vlad, thanks for the ring, man. Thanks.
Have a safe flight, bro.
All
Yo,
right,
take it easy, man.
peace out.
Brandon, thanks for coming on, man. Nice meeting you. Appreciate it, man. You have a safe flight.
You was late, man. That was pretty
Word,
dope,
that was
man.
dope, man. That was
Obviously,
great. That was fire.
Like we said, we were interviewing Brandon London, former wide receivers for the Giants, Dolphins. He was up in Canada in the Canadian League, won a championship and a Grey Cup, man. So that was pretty dope. We got a lot of good insight, man. So obviously, we got hey, man, we're on to athletes now. You know what I'm saying? We're not just interviewing reporters. You know what I'm saying?
And he shared some personal stories, so I want to thank him for doing that, being open.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That was great. That was really great.
That was real great, man.
Oh yeah, man, that was phenomenal, guys. That was fascinating, right? The things that like he shared and right, and all the insight that like he gave, and stuff from his career and and everything he's been through was was out of this world, and right, it blew me away for sure. So no, that was a great experience being able to have him on here, and I'm definitely grateful that he was able to make time and come on our podcast. So definitely shout out to Brandon London for coming on Pro Fan Sports today. We appreciate you.
Hey, man, like I said, we have reached, 600 subscribers on YouTube right now?
Yes, sir, we did. That's right.
More now, so like we said, please keep subscribing. You know what I mean? Comment,
yes, absolutely.
Share the videos, man. It's helping the channel grow.
Yes.
And we can bring on more. Hey, let's get Victor Cruz on here, man.
That'd be dope.
Yes,
That'd be dope.
Mr. Salsa Dance. Right. We might have to have him do the salsa dance on the podcast, and that's his trademark. Right.
That's a fact, man.
Right, and I'll have to hit him up and see if I can bring him on. That'd be dope to have Victor Cruz on for sure. And hopefully we can get a former Patriot on, since we're all Patriot guys, and most of the people I'm sure that listen are Patriots fans. I'm sure they'd like to see a former Patriot on. I'm actually working on that, so stay tuned. That could be coming soon. We'll see what happens. I'll definitely try my best to make that happen.
Absolutely, man. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Again, please subscribe, and thank you for the support. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good week. See y'all next week.